beauty. Look at that clean shaven head, all skint almost.
Oh my God. Oh God. So yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a deep dive. It's Friday night and
No, it's not.
Saturday night.
There you go.
We do firearms on Friday.
I know you do.
Rodemeyer joins us. I see that he's on YouTube though,
Hi,
and
Steve.
that means that he's freeloading at the moment and going to get kicked off in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, he's busy.
Well, I know, and Steve, we're all worried about you and praying for you, brother. Please believe. But yeah, we're gonna y'all. So here's what's up. Our boy Mario is occupado because there's a marker because there's a Marco in town down in Florida, and that's Florida man squared. I imagine they're getting themselves into trouble.
The M squared.
Yes.
It's trouble is what it is. It's trouble.
So, Fee and I are going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk about our story a little bit tonight. It's been a wild ride, babe.
Wild. Most of it has been rather ordered to one location or another.
A life lived from PCS to PCS to ETS.
It happens.
One ETS is to the middle of nowhere on purpose.
Oh, goodness. 18. This is 18 years.
It is.
See, I know things.
The day before Christmas.
I can even math. 2 days before Christmas.
Okay, the day before Christmas
Eve.
The birth of Ursimus.
The birth of Ursimus. Have you told anybody else about the birth of Ursimus?
Oh, why don't we do that after we hit the break?
Okay, that makes sense.
So, it looks like the pickings are a little slim there. And guys, I almost want to just leave this one free on the internet for everybody. It is only the 15th. I mean, I've got time.
Well, and they did just do all of the shutdown stuff, so that's all still getting processed. Maybe this is one of the services people had to cut for a little while.
Oh no, I was more talking about making my hours.
I was just thinking.
I don't have to put this one behind the paywall tonight because Kate and I did 4.5 hours last week. Yes. I went to bed late. Because we love you guys. So.
On the one hand, Steve, we're definitely catching up. We're going to get there one day. On the other hand, you should always have more years than we do. How do you catch up with people that are older than you when they keep getting older and so do you?
Yeah. Well, Steve and Christy are rapidly approaching 30 years married. 27 now, I think you are, Steve. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds like so many years.
Yeah. Well, His Majesty and Ma just broke 45.
I know.
That's forever.
That sounds like so many years.
I see Steve's laughing himself to tears because he's old.
So are you. So am I.
So is Pitt Danny.
So is Danny.
Megan's not.
It's me!
Yeah, I mean, you know the problem with having my wife on the show tonight is if shit goes sideways, I can't text my hot young wife to bring me more coffee.
27. Oh my gosh. You're right. Well done. Congratulations.
Yep. Well, I had to work backward to when they had their 20th
Oh God.
celebration. We did it at a wine festival thing, and
We only had the 3 kids when they did their 20th anniversary. How old was Brittany when we got married? How old is Brittany? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Oh,
I guess
no.
Brittany's 27 this year, I think.
I don't know. I'm not going to do that math.
I remember changing her diapers, but that's been a while. She's either 26 or 27, maybe 20. No, 27. Yeah.
Just gonna out people like that.
I can say with relative confidence that her friends don't watch this show.
Yes, that is a fairly confident. 8. Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna tell our story a little bit tonight. So she just turned 27. That's what I thought.
We're going to tell our story. You said.
Maybe I had pictures of her and her pacifier with only 2 curls on her head.
Oh my goodness.
Danny, I believe you are the senior in the chat until Ma and Granddad pop in. A little surprised I haven't seen them pop in yet, but we had kind of a big day over there with some family and a fish fry and oh God, cookies.
And cookies.
Okay. So Dad's got this hickory tree.
And last year he was going on, not really on and on. He was just going on about hickory nuts and how delicious they are. And
they are.
Hickory bread, hickory cake, hickory cookie. It was some sort of hickory nut sweet thing that he was telling people, me and the kids, about having had whenever he was a little kid. And I got it into my head, I could just do that, right? There's hickory nuts right here. So I told him I could try and do that, and he helped me get it, and I had the kids help. We got a bunch of the hickory nuts last year, and I looked up how do you open them, and you open them with a hammer against cement because they're hard as cement. And I used a couple little tools to try and get as much of the actual hickory nut meat out, and it was tedious, and it hurt my hands, and I'm not sure that I'm going to ever recover from that. However, then we made the cookies.
And they're amazing.
And I'm pretty sure that we're going to suffer through that every single year.
They really are that good.
They
really are that good. The hickory nut chocolate chip cookies.
But this year, I got the proper tools to do it, and I made Chris break out the bench vise.
Yep. In fact, the other day I set her up with a bench vise so she could crack the nuts while I was at work. And as I was walking out the door, she told me, "Babe, I don't think this is going to work. They're too hard for the bench vise." And I said, "Well, here, let me give it a shot." And I went over and put the man hand on it. And I know you guys have had this experience. You go to pick up a box that you think is full of stuff and it's empty, and you do the huh. So I kind of I was expecting it. I mean, it wasn't easy, but I was expecting it to be a lot harder than it was. And so I put the wrench down on the vise, on the bench vise, and as soon as I cranked that sumbitch, that nut just exploded in my face.
He's like, well, I had the torque on it, and it was a bit more effort into over here, and I already knew I was going to have to. I understand you're trying to protect me, honey, but you are, in fact, a big, strong man.
How you doing?
And I'm not. How you doing?
So Fee and I met.
Did you want a paywall?
Nah.
You sure?
We'll stay out here because Steve's watching, and I don't think he's I don't think he's signed in on Rumble.
Back to Brazil nuts. Oh. Brazil nuts are some of my very favorites, but they
Yes.
are also
Yes.
finicky. We'll go with that. Finicky.
I don't think that's what he was getting at.
That's not what he was getting at. That's what I'm really, really carefully redirecting. Like, we're not digging this into a whole nother channel to divert a river. We're putting an
Right.
aqueduct in here and going this direction entirely.
The Brazil nut is a field nut.
It's a joke. I promise. It's a joke.
So we were learning to be spooks together. Speaking of fields.
We weren't learning to be spooks together. We did not, in fact, learn how to be spooks together. We just learned how to speak funny together.
That's true.
And not even together.
We studied on opposite sides of the demilitarized zone.
Of the DMP.
Yes. We so at DLI there are two, or at least this was the case when we were there.
That's
Who
true.
knows how
Who
it's
knows
changed
what
in
it looks
20
like now.
fucking years. There are two schoolhouses for the Korean language program.
And they're like this.
And they're on either side of a big parking lot. And as it happens, the northernmost one has the vending machines, or the propaganda engines, as we used to call them.
Was I in the northern one?
You were in the north one.
I was in the northern one.
You had the vending machines.
I didn't know there were directions at the time.
Y'all could go down and grab a candy bar. We had to cross the 38th parking lot.
It was the one that was closer to the stars because I get to navigate. You have to do land nav.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and the 38th parking lot. It's it's one end of the football field to the other. So you got your 10-minute smoke break. You want to grab a soda pop or a candy bar. That's a bit of a walk for 10 minutes. To get over there, stand in line, get your coins in the machine, get your candy bar, and get back to class. It wasn't undoable, but it took. You had to choose between a cigarette and a candy bar.
I didn't.
I know.
You did.
I know.
I think it helped matters that the smoke pit was in the parking lot. Along the side of the parking lot.
No, the smoke pit was behind the Namhan building.
Was it?
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't have to go to the smoke pit.
Yeah. So you had Namhan, propaganda machines, smoke pit. So I mean, it was very much you had to choose one.
I didn't have to choose one. I instead took my break times to study my vocabulary, make sure I was getting all of my homework done.
I didn't study vocabulary during break time.
No.
I did speaking practice.
Yes.
With one of the natives, who
with
was
the
also
teachers,
a smoker.
Who were also smokers.
So we had Imsa sing them, and he was this tiny little gremlin-looking dude with nothing but gold teeth, and these big horn-rimmed glasses. And he and I were playing a game for almost the whole time I was there. We would trade DVDs. So I would lend him DVDs that were in English, and he would take them home and watch them, and we would talk about them. And the best one, I lent him a copy of the movie Tremors one weekend, and he comes back, and we're at the smoke pit, and he gives me back the DVD, and he tells me that he watched it with his wife, and he's just going crazy like, "Oh, 너한테 그런 것은 우리 집사람과 함께 보았어."
Watched with my wife.
또한 한 번도 안 봤어.
I've never seen this before.
Never seen. 그런 것은 한 번도 안 봤어. Right? Never seen such a thing
like
as this. 지하에 있는 괴물은
Underground monster.
괴물에서 일어나서 사람을 잡아먹어서.
And if you don't get that part, you've never seen the movie Tremors.
Yeah. And that's how I learned the word to devour.
Yeah.
잡아먹다, to grab and consume. Devour. Yes.
Our course teachers had such a hard time with some of our senses of humor because you either have the dark sense of humor or you don't. So they
In one of our earliest listening exercises, we listened to this whole thing about the beach, and it's the first time we're listening to it with brand new vocabulary, and it's like our earliest this is like the first 2 or 3 weeks, early rudimentary vocabulary. Haven't even really discussed object and subject and topic markers, and I'm being asked what's happening, and I'm like, there's some guy on the beach, and he's making a cold cut sandwich, and the teacher just looks at me, just cold dead eyes, because they said something about salami. So Saddam is one word for people or person, and when you stick when that's the topic of the conversation, you say Saddam and of course they're Asian, so fried rice, all that.
They don't have individual R's and L's.
The R's
it is
and L's.
one R.
They actually have one sound that is simultaneously R and L somehow, and they can't pronounce it correctly. They can't pronounce their sound correctly.
This is also
That's why they stick their tongue out to the side when they say
It's a thing you notice with some people and not with some others. But yeah, like the basic vocab. Oh my gosh, the basic vocabs of just tree. There are trees at the park. Like, are there? Are there really at the park? There are trees.
Yeah.
It was. It was probably a month in. We started going down into the downtown to Cafe Noir to do homework together and study sessions with the four of us.
Yeah. Okay, so Mario and I both flubbed out of our first run through.
But they know people. So they both got a second chance.
And you know what? I'm going to say it wasn't entirely our fault. And I am deeply confident of that, because the program that we were involved in was eliminated when we left it. They don't do that program anymore. And I won't go into great detail on the whole Bravo company debacle before we moved to Alpha, but Mario and I rolled back and started over. So by the time Fee got to DLI, Mario and I had both been there for a little less than a year.
9 months?
About 9 months, probably. What you got there in 2006 around?
We started in August for the actual class, and you guys had been there since.
Yeah, so we got there in January. We got there at the end of January. I got there at the end of January. Mario got there, I think, at the end of February. Mario got there a couple weeks after I did. Anyway, so by the time we were double dating down to the Cafe Noir, Mario and I had already been spending a lot of time down at the Cafe Noir playing Scopa with the local mafia.
I like playing Scopa. I miss playing Scopa. I miss playing Scopa with Mario in particular, because you can say things to Mario that you can't say to other people.
Mario has a talent for vulgarity and deprecation that is difficult to elucidate without direct experience. Many of you have seen that, especially in the deep dive.
He swears in such a way that it actually doesn't need to be censored. But if you're listening to it and you know English,
you're listening to it carefully,
you should have censored that entire conversation.
It's not always as direct and undeniable as like the other day when Mario and I were doing the deep dive on Alexander the Great, and he was telling the story of Alexander going over the wall and, I quote, going straight Dynasty Warrior on the shitskins. he nailed it on Alexander the Great. It was one of the best deep dives we've done. One of the best history
Mario
deep dives.
knows that.
Well, I mean, well, we had a wonderful kind of intersection of intellects on Alexander the Great because, of course, he was, Mario went to private Catholic school. Mario's
As one
grasp of
does, as
history,
the firstborn.
yeah. Mario's grasp of history is just excellent. But of course, Alexander the Great was a student of Aristotle, and so Mario and I had a whole lot of overlap in our academic backgrounds over that. We had a great time.
And he will lecture you
Jiggly.
until you are all the way on the ground, until after you have quit and ceded victory.
Since Jigglyplum has joined us, and I don't know that you've seen this yet, I'll throw in this bone.
Poor Cam.
That's for you, Jiggles.
Oh, and yes, it's not vulgar, it's crass, which
That's
is
fair.
just
That's
being vulgar without swearing. It's wonderful. It is definitely a talent that I wish more people had. It's the kind of talent that makes me want to watch more Downton Abbey because I love her.
Yeah, Jiggly, you picked the right night to tune in because I've just arbitrarily decided I'm not going to throw the freeloaders off tonight, so you can hang out with us. But it's also true that this one's not so much a night owl.
I'm really not. Well, now.
So we're not going to push. We're not going to push to midnight or 1 o'clock tonight.
Hi, boys.
Hey, boys.
I don't even know who this plum person is, but you know what? I'm in.
That's Z Cheeseburger. We think.
I'm still in.
We're reasonably certain that's Z Cheeseburger. I don't even know if he's actually gay, but he likes Cameron.
Now, does he like Cameron or does he like to harass Cameron? Because those can be two.
Yes.
Oh.
And I miss Cameron too, guys, but he's busy as a squirrel trying to shit a pineapple. Small businessman building the world and slaying dragons. He cut down the dragon Tiamat in her prime and has gathered her parts into a large trailer.
Was
out
it
of
really
which
her
he is.
prime?
Yes. So
cheeseburger. I don't know what that means.
So after that, we got married.
We did after some of the study sessions. Actually, it may have even been the first study session. We had gone down there and we got coffee and we were talking about school stuff. We were going over different parts with vocab and I was there to study. I don't know what these guys were doing.
Okay. I actually had to go through it twice, and this frustrated me to no end. But
so Mario and Chris were in opposite classes with me and Jen in opposite classes. And it was great fun.
Jiggly says, I'm not gay, I'm just Australian. Jiggly, I've often told people that, because my wife was in the Navy, I've often told people not everybody in the Navy is gay. They're just all into dudes. Hey, Jiggly, you find yourself in America. You send me a DM on X, and I will buy you not a Foster's because I know better. Right, Nate? You just say the word. I'll meet you in Augusta somewhere. But anyway, there's this language, this intro to languages class that we have to do.
No, we wouldn't.
So the intro to languages, the language fundamentals class.
was fun, and it's definitely English 99. Not even English 99. It's English 70.
Yeah, it's remedial English.
It's awful.
It's the one where they take everybody that made it to DLI. So DLI is the single most competitive academic institution on the planet.
Was at the time.
Still is.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you have to be eligible to enlist in the U.S. military.
That's true.
And then you have to pass multiple levels of academic competitive rigor just to get there. And then once you're there, more than half of the people who end up at DLI wash out and get sent to a different school for a different job.
Because the people that wash out of DLI are the people that are just naturally smart. So they've just been smart this whole time, and they don't know what note cards are.
So while you're when we were there, we would make plus you have to qualify for a security clearance, and it's at least a secret. Most of us at DLI have to have a TSSCI at a minimum. And yeah, give you an idea of the kind of people that are there. There is a Spanish language where you can go there and learn Spanish, and they will teach you Spanish to absolute conversational fluency in 6 months. And most of us were making fun of those guys because it's like, how did you get here and you don't already speak Spanish?
Because most of them had failed out of another language and then went to Spanish.
Spanish is the language that we picked up off the cereal box because it said hola, and we somehow assimilated the entire native understanding of Mexico from that.
He said hola, and I understood him. I speak Spanish.
But for real, the Spanish kids at DLI, the Spanish students at DLI, there are short bus kids.
They're the short bus kids. Which is unfortunate because they are absolute professionals. They know what you're doing. Like, you can drop these people in any country, and they have got it from there.
Yes, one can drop these people in any country, and they will do the job. I've seen me do it.
You're not a Spanish linguist.
No, but I've sent soldiers to Holo.
Oh, my goodness. So they do this.
It's not the same thing. Not the same thing.
They do this very, very basic English class. And it's day one. It's not even lunchtime yet on day one of this remedial English class. And they're going over what's a noun, what's a verb. It's awful. It's just, okay, cool. So this is there are people that are around me that are like taking notes like they forgot. I'm sitting here going, I'm not taking notes on this, guys. It's English. And they get to this bit with linking verbs, and they're like, now, who here knows what a linking verb is? And most of us raise our hands, and since not all of us do, they explain it. And then they talk about it, in your languages, you guys are going to be dealing with these verbs that don't have linking verbs. So they don't say the car is red, it's the car red. And I'm pointing
and that's if you're very, very lucky.
And I'm at my table with the other sailors that are with me at the time, because we're still all like not necessarily surrounded by our own service people, but we're definitely in our little service-related cliques because I don't know you. And I'm looking at the board going, really? Is he about to explain this? And there's a voice from the other side of the room. Like, it's actually more like the car reds, because red is the verb.
It is, though!
It is!
You have to conjugate that son of a bitch. Somebody's trying to call me.
Oh, I don't know who it is.
From Lombard, Illinois.
I don't know, just ask them what they are, what they want. Are they selling things? They're not selling things.
Good evening.
But
hello?
Nope. I'm listening to him explain this, and I'm sitting there going, well, obviously that's exactly how that works. Like, when I was learning Spanish in school, in high school, and from my family, I knew how this worked. When I was learning German in high school and in college, I knew how this worked. When I was learning English, really? When I was learning English in elementary school, I understood how these things work. But the voice, really? I wonder who that guy is.
Yeah,
And then we ended up both being in
I
the
looked like
Marine.
that back then.
Then we were in the same language. We were in language classes that started at the same time for the same language. You had friends, I had friends. We went and studied, and we went down there, and Mario was in my class with me. And I think the initial plan had been that he would be dating my friend who was in the class with him, and I would be dating Mario who was in the class with me, and that is not what happened.
That is not what
It
happened.
is not what happened. You're welcome. And thank you.
Oh. Yeah, if you happen to tune in, Jen, I'm sorry. We wouldn't have worked.
She's not gonna tune in. I'd like to say you guys would have made a better couple, but you wouldn't have.
No.
You and Hurst. Shiny Hurst.
Shaney,
because she's from here.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of cultural overlap for the
I think
two
she
of
was
you.
from Tennessee. Shaney was delightful. A little ditzy.
A little.
Okay. Fair.
She's not the blonde that fell out of the ceiling,
No.
though.
Did I tell you I ran into that's Suarez? Did I tell you I
Yes.
ran into her in Afghanistan?
Yes.
Or no, not Afghanistan, Kuwait.
Yes. I remember you ran into her while you were down there, and I definitely had this moment. I'm not a very I was not. I have definitely changed over the years.
Yes.
I was not a very secure person at all at the time. It's like, yeah, I ran into this random hot chick from school that one time.
She was
He did
cute.
not
She
ever
wasn't-
talk to
She
her.
wasn't that.
He did never ever talk about her as though she was a hot chick. He's like, hey, I ran into this name that I recognized. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, right, some random hot lady from the thing, and she's not married, that's why she's downrange. She's over there with my man! That's not what happened, obviously. But in my brain, that's what was going on. And I had to stop and convince myself. For years, I had to stop and convince myself, no, you know better. Chris isn't that guy. He's never been that guy.
No.
He's never going to be that guy. Chris is my guy. That's why we're married and everything, right?
That's why we're still married.
That's why we're still married.
After all these years.
Oh my God, it's so
Yeah.
Have I gotten terribly old?
Yes, you have.
Beast.
Steve says the skinny Chris era. Well, as close as he got. Brother, I was like 7.5% body fat in that picture. in that picture right there. Yeah.
I know why we have 4 kids.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing?
So from there,
we've just been together this whole time since then.
well, we got to Hawaii. She got to Hawaii almost a year before I did.
Because some of us know how to pass a class.
Well, and you got to go to your first duty station and do OJT.
That's right.
And I had to go to a different duty station and do follow-on training before I could go to my first duty station.
That's true. During which you had to re-enlist.
Yeah.
And that was a whole kerfuffle.
That's a rare thing right there. I graduated from advanced individual training. You are not likely ever in your life to meet a soldier that can say this. I graduated from advanced individual training and was inducted into the clandestine services community wearing a good conduct ribbon and a service ribbon, a good conduct medal and a service ribbon.
Those are both time locked as well.
Those are both at 3 years.
But that was him dealing with all of that is probably one of the first points when it actually came up how obvious it was we needed to be really good at talking to each other. And a lot of it was just the time zone differences. But I could tell anytime we were on the phone when he was having to deal with all this paperwork and deal with all these people about how he was going to do enlisting. I could tell. I could hear it in his voice. I could tell with like the way we were talking to each other. He was upset. He was agitated. He was dealing with something very stressful. He was very much mad about what was going on.
Well, we had a plan. We got married. We had paperwork in place to guarantee a spousal co-location at a duty station. And then I got my orders at Goodfellow, and I got orders for Korea. This is the only time I really called in a favor from the old man over actual military shit. And one morning there's a knock at my barracks room door, and it's my flippin' battalion commander and sergeant major and my company commander and first sergeant at the door at 4:30 in the morning. I just woke up and was, when I went to answer the door, I'm in my Ranger panties, and I've still got frickin' bay rum shaving soap on my face and my straight razor in my hand as I answer the door, because it's right next to the safe basically. I answer the door like, oh shit, straight razor in my hand. Morning, sir. And he says, well, I don't know who the hell you are, but some general just called me from Florida. I'm like, well,
I do believe that probably happened, sir.
Well, sir, I believe it's closer to 7 o'clock there.
Time zones, they really do have an impact.
and then I get the comment. About the straight razor and the boar brush. How fucking old are you? How old are you, specialist?
Old.
20. What was that? 27 at that point. So that was
7.
Yeah, that was toward the end.
08.
Yeah, that was the end of 08. So 27. I was an old private and an old specialist.
And all this whole kerfuffle is going on, and he didn't tell me.
Yeah, we got that close to me getting sent to Korea for a couple of years instead of going straight to Hawaii. And at this point, we had been married for almost a year, and we had been geobat separated for all but a week of that year.
Yeah.
Because we got married, and 3 days later, you were on a plane for Honolulu.
Yes.
And
I had a report date.
A week after that, I had to report back to California, where I stayed for about 4 months before I loaded my pick-em-up truck like the Clampetts and drove to Tejas.
And me and Stone got a place, and we stayed up late several nights crocheting blankets and watching Red versus Blue.
Oh God, I was sitting in an IHOP one night with Mario and Staples and Amarosa and Dunks playing Magic in the middle of the damn night, and my cell phone rings, and it's my wife, who I had not seen in over half a year. And she is bawling and boo-hooing into her phone, stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire.
I was very distressed.
And no jack. And called me to ask me what to do.
Like, I know that I could just change it, but there's got to be something out here for me to be able to call somebody and get this done. Like, who am I supposed to be talking to right now?
I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but I think at the time you told me you knew how to change a tire, but there was I don't know if there was a security bolt on the tire, and you didn't have the special wrench.
It was the jack. I didn't have the lever for the jack.
You didn't have the lever for the jack. But yeah, she knew how to change a tire, but she didn't have all the parts she needed for it. And she's calling me, and I'm like, God, the best I can do. I'm a 4 or 5 hour flight away. If I could get on a bird right now.
This would be yesterday's problem. If I could get on a bird right now, this would be yesterday's problem. But he listened to me ramble and be upset for a little bit, and I figured out a way that I could still use it even without the lever, so that I could change the tire, so that I could get home, and then I called somebody in the morning.
And y'all, this is in the dark ages before they banned smoking in all the restaurants, so it was already out in Georgia. But in Texas, they still had smoking sections in places like IHOP and I was sitting in the smoking section with Mario and them, and I think I was on the phone with her for about 2 hours, and I literally smoked a pack of cigarettes. Just sitting there like, baby,
It was not 2 hours. It was probably half an hour.
I smoked I'm just sitting there just chain smoking the whole time.
I don't doubt you did that. But I called him when I had a problem that I knew I could somehow fix if I just got a chance to be upset about it. He did not call me when he had a problem that he knew he could get fixed, that he was just going to be upset about it for a minute and then talk to people.
I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
Your orders, honey.
Oh,
I know.
You
had a problem you could fix, but you didn't tell me.
Oh, I think so.
Well,
you were talking about communication and faithfulness a little bit a minute ago.
No, insecurity and faithfulness.
Well,
Communication and issues with not talking to each other about, oh yeah, I've got this thing I can totally solve. I'll just never mention it.
So, on a totally different night, I was sitting at an IHOP with Mario and Dunks and Staples and Avarosa in the middle of the night. And in fact, that night happened to be Halloween. And Fee sent me a picture, costume she was wearing out with her girlfriends to go out and party, whatever y'all were doing. And it was this slinky little black dress that I look at this photo, it's like, Jesus Christ, you can't go out in public like that, baby.
All these single ladies, it's Halloween, they wanted to go around Waikiki, and they needed somebody who was going to DD, which I figured that would be me, but I had to go in costume, like everybody else had to go in costume, and we're all going to go as slutty hookers, and I'm starting going, hookers are already slutty, sweetie, you don't need to make it worse.
You don't need to trashy that up, hon. You are the grouch. Oh, Scar. Well, the whole time I was a good fellow, half the people there are these, 20, 21, 22-year-old co-eds that just came out of either Air Force Academy or some other college and got in their butter bar, and they're walking around this base, and they're little girls.
Well, yeah.
And you're walking around, as enlisted, you pop your salute, good morning, ma'am, and they give you back this, oh, thank you. Shut the fuck up. You're a military officer, child.
Oh, the Delta ma'ams.
Yeah, exactly, the Delta ma'ams. Oh my God. Oh my God.
They're just so adorable.
I mean, they are a walking violation. Just
they end up serious later when they realize, oh, I actually have a job to do.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They're officers.
They're officers.
They're officers. Well, so I finally get to Hawaii.
Do you need a solution or do you need to vent? Yes, and that we have started to add that into a handful of conversations where it's like that's on our listen to me ramble.
That's in our SOP for marital brevity codes. It's right up there with I love you too, which is what I say when she starts speaking and I'm not wearing my hearing aids. Doesn't matter what she said, I couldn't hear it. It's her fault because I'm handicapped and she needs to treat me with the gentle kid gloves that all disabled people require. But yeah, if I missed it, I love you too, baby. Hey, Chris, take out the trash while you're out there. I love you too. If I don't want to come,
I guess I'll take it out on my way out then. Okay, cool, understood. Did not hear me at all. Not ignoring me like a jackass.
At best, I was able to gather that you made an utterance. Casualty of war and parenthood.
And then he finally gets to Hawaii.
Yes, I did.
After my birthday, after our anniversary.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas, and he gets me this beautiful watch that goes very well with my ring because I don't wear jewelry anyway, and I can only wear so much whenever I'm in uniform. So he gets me one that looks nice. And he said, it's my I'm never gonna be away from you for a year again watch," which was a lie.
Sorry.
It's not on purpose. It's okay.
They told me I was going to ride a desk, and I wasn't happy about riding a desk, but they told me I was going to be on a desk.
Because you had to re-enlist and everything, and we don't say blah, 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 no one out of here, blah, 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 lie, lie, lie. Falsehoods and untruths. On several occasions.
I did spend a little over a year as the training and operations in COIC.
Oh, yeah. There's the educated wishes were going on here is what was going on.
And I was on the team that wrote the SOP for EDRI operations, which was fun.
Is it?
I can't really talk about it.
I know.
But it was awesome.
But so they noticed in the unit that he was in while we were at Hawaii, they noticed that they were having significant issues with their soldiers having marital problems that were overflowing into their professional lives.
This wasn't just like a units in Hawaii thing. This was Army wide. Was holy shit. We've got soldiers deploying multiple times, and then they're getting divorce papers mailed to them downrange. We got to do something about our soldiers' marriages. We got to take care of these marriages.
How do we keep these guys from getting Dear John'd?
Yeah.
And so they decide, you know what? Marriage counseling. So it's mandated that first year that we ended up going. It was mandated every battalion?
No.
Company.
It's even better. No. Here's what happened.
What do you call your groups of people?
I was one of 2 married soldiers in our unit that was not deployed at the time. Right. And they were required to send at least 2 couples.
Yes. They were required to send X number of couples, and so there were only...
If it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have made the cut.
And he had not been sent down yet. So this is...
And I'd only been on the island for a week or so.
It was a couple months, but I think...
No.
I want to say we went in the summer, but it's Hawaii. It's always summer.
It was before you went to Korea.
Which was a kerfuffle. But we ended up having to go. And we were...
So it was February or March.
We were not polite in our feedback. We were very direct in our feedback. And part of this is just because it was mandated that we go. This is not something that we planned on doing, but because it was a program put in place in order to save marriages that were on the rocks, and we had to go.
Yeah, this was not a program for us.
They were talking to us the entire time like, hey, sweetie. We know he's an asshole. Here's how you deal with him being a jerk so that you can talk to him about how he's a jerk.
Oh, and we know you have money problems, and that's what causes most people to get divorced. We're like, we're good. We're quite good.
We're good. Like, well, these things come up. Like, how long have you guys been married? And we're like, we've been married for a year and a half. I mean, 3 months, but a year and a half?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And we told them, we got married, got sent different places, and now we're coming back. I'm like, okay, so, you're going to have to figure out how do you fit in the household now that you've come back? And I'm like, as the other
I know how to fit in the household. I bought a California king bed. I had to. You're right. I did have to think about how I was going to fit in the household. I'm 6.5 feet tall. I bought an extra big bed. Problem solved.
It was the one lady. She was a chaplain. And she had a very notable accent, and she was definitely talking to us like we were about to get divorced. And
you know, I spent almost as much money on that bed as I did on my chair, and that bed doesn't even rub my butt.
I still love you.
David says side channel, the Chris and Fee comedy show.
We're not that funny.
I actually pitched to her the other day that we should start doing something kind of like what Bering and Sugar Tits do, where Bering reads funny news to Sugar Tits and she just reacts to it. Sugar Tits is fantastic. Y'all should definitely. I know Jigglyplum. Jigglyplum, you have to be watching Bering and Sugar Tits, my man.
Oh my goodness. But
Speaking of Sugar Tits, you need a warm up, babe.
I do. But we went through and we told them in the feedback, we're like, look, we had to go. We had to go because you guys put this program in place. It was mandated. And we didn't need this, but of the few things that made any sense at all to us as a newer couple that is not on the run, the only information we're going to take that's useful out of this is going to be the communication bit, because the money bit, we talk about the money stuff. If there's anything that comes up in the house, we already know we're going to talk about that.
Well, and then they didn't even do a good job on the communication stuff in that one.
They did. Well,
it was the next one. It was the one with the preacher that talked about the difference between the man brain and the woman brain. Remember?
Yes.
So the first one was at Turtle Bay, and the second one was at the Prince Kahia Hilton in Honolulu.
In the first one, the chaplain lady is up there, and she has us come up. She's like, she grabs a couple of couples, and we're one of the couples that goes up, and they're like, all right, she's looking and she's like, I need you to tell me one thing that you are saying to your wife. And that is not what she sounded like at all.
And the second one, we go through this whole thing, and one of the things the guy explains is, gentlemen, you gotta tell her when she does it, she's gonna do it. They all do it, right? A woman will start talking to you. She will start telling you something, need to know, important information. And she will walk away while she's still talking, climb into the washing machine and close the door behind her, and turn it on the spin cycle and still expect you to have heard and understood everything she said. And that night, we're all the couples, we're all going out. They gave us a stipend and sent us out, and we all went out into Honolulu to go on dates, right? And so we get done with the class.
Mandated,
we go back to our
double dating.
Yeah, mandated
double dating.
So we all get sent back to our hotel rooms to change, to shower and change and get dressed for date night. And we had been told to pack something nice to go on date night.
Do we actually need to wear anything in particular? Like, what do you think that we should be
and
doing?
So yeah, so we're in the hotel room after this class, and she's talking to me. She's running her damn mouth. And walks into the bathroom, still talking to me.
I'm brushing my teeth mid-sentence.
Turning on the fucking shower. And then all of a sudden, I'm standing there. In the hotel room, just chilling, watching it happen. And then I hear the water. In the bathroom turn off, and she comes walking out of the bathroom, butt naked, because she was just about to get in the shower, and she comes walking out. And she just stands there and looks at me. She says,
I'm doing it,
aren't I? Said, yeah, yes, you are, babe. You are doing it.
Well, they had talked about it. And this is the second one. When the guy had been talking about it, he was talking about his wife doing all these things. And I had been telling him, I don't do that. I don't do that. And he goes, of course not, honey. I was like, I don't do that. I'm not that kind of person. I stand in one place and I'm telling you something important. Of course. And
I thought to myself, I know I'm going to point this out the next time she does it, and it's going to be hilarious. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined it would be like an hour later.
That I noticed it. But in the first one, she's got us up there as couples, and she has the bench. She's like, I want you to hold your wife's hand. I want you to tell her something that you think she'd want to, that would make her happy. And he's holding my hand. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get steaks for dinner. I'll bring them home on my way home from work. And he's got that look of like completely adoring husband saying something nice and kind, and she looks at me and she doesn't scoff. She was very professional about this. She looks at me and she goes, "Now, what did you just hear?" And I'm like, "I heard, make sure that there's actually gas in the cans for the griddle, or that you're going to be able to do the oven. You should probably look up the time so you can actually preheat the oven. What kind of sides are we going to put with a steak? Do I have the stuff for the sides for a steak? Do I need to also run to the gas station, or do I need to run to the grocery store so I can get all the stuff for the sides since he's going to pick up the steaks? Is he going to actually pick up just steaks? Is he also going to be getting all these things?" And he's looking at me like, that all went through your head?
You know better now.
Yes.
When's the last time you had a reasonable expectation that you were expected to concern yourself with the level of my propane tanks?
That's true. No, we have definitely. And
you know better.
Part of it is because we were talking about that after the fact. We were talking to each other about it, and I was like, this is not a thing I even know. Like, are you going to tell me, hey, I'm bringing home steaks for dinner, and all of a sudden I need to, like, be looking up how does one grill steaks? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know things about stuff. I'm going to have to go look up things about stuff.
So this is funny. We were, earlier today, we were at my folks' house, having a late lunch with my Aunt Debbie and Uncle Mike and my cousin Melanie and Mom and Granddad and my belligerent horde of small mammals, children.
They're called children. They're pets you don't eat.
Yeah, they're pets you don't eat. Exactly.
They're pets that learn English. And one day they eventually grow and move on. I've seen this happen all over the world.
I've heard rumors.
When's going to be my time?
When's going to be my time, Lord? When's going to be my time?
But we're talking music. We're talking
Let my wild else a gun go.
Oh, about cooking stuff, because our second in particular loves to bake. Partly because she's been cooking.
And she made those hickory nut cookies
with me. She's been cooking with her grandmother, and she enjoys it. And my oldest likes things that take more time. Like, she likes it whenever it takes time to make the different pieces, and then you put all the pieces together in one go. Like, if it takes a day of prep work, and then 15 to 20 minutes of actual work at the end, she is in. But if it's going to be waiting for the butter to soften and getting the eggs to room temperature and measuring out different sugars and things, she's like, Mom, I think that you want to talk to Penelope about this. She likes to do the chemistry. I'll be in my room.
Yeah.
So, the hickory nuts, doing them the right way and everything, we've got quite a bit. Not anymore. We had quite a bit this morning, and I told Penny, you should go ahead and get the cookies made. And I already had the butter out, and I had some of the other stuff out for her to do. So, Melanie, in particular, is talking about how great the cookies are. And she goes, well, of course Penny's a good cook. You're a good cook. I mean, did you grow up with hickory nuts? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I grew up with the box. Like, how do you make macaroni and cheese? Well, the instructions are on the box.
No.
Like, I understood, even from a younger age, like teenage years, that there are people that don't eat things that came in a box or a bag or a can with instructions, right. But that seemed very strange to me. Because every meal is a pound of ground, a can of this, a cup of this, and then at voila.
Yeah. And that's not how I came up.
No.
I came up in a household where it's not that we never had Kraft in the blue box cheap Kraft mac and cheese, but it's that's what you have when you didn't plan correctly ahead of time. That's the emergency backup rations in the back. That Kraft mac and cheese was our version of the MREs.
But neither of my folks got to stay at home whenever me and my brother were really young. So a lot of it was, what can we get on the table in half an hour or less so that we're eating by 6 or 6:30 instead of eating at 8 o'clock at night before everybody's got to be in bed because everybody's got to get up in the morning. So we had a lot of it came out of a box. On the other hand, I also remember going to my aunt's house and we were making taquitos from scratch.
I'm down.
I'm not. I may have done that before.
Fair play. Ooh,
I promise you, those are worth it out of the box.
We need to do those. We need to do those from raw, cheesy, griddle taco things again. Or where we had the
corn tortillas with
the
the
corn
stuff. Okay,
tortillas
gotcha.
and the stuff on the grill. Oh.
You're going, what are you even talking about? Because if you've ever just bought corn tortillas that are not cooked, which is actually how you should buy them and use them if you want the best flavor, but not always the best option.
Or just make them.
You can't. You can't. You can't just use them. You have to heat them up with something that has moisture in it. For instance, you heat up some oil on the griddle and then you toss them out there like deal them out there like cards. And then you flip them over and you toss in the taco stuff and you fold it and close it and it's delicious.
Pit Danny says more than weird getting off the bus at Paris Island. Hoorah, brother.
I'm pretty sure Dad was at Paris Island. I don't think he was one of the Hollywood ones. I think he was actually out in Paris Island. I don't know. But
it would make me chuckle to know that your dad was a full-on Hollywood Marine.
There's no way he was a full-on Hollywood Marine. Come on, man. But she's talking about cooking. I'm talking about not having, like...
We should get him some Gucci sunglasses for Christmas.
Dad wouldn't wear sunglasses.
I know.
But... My poor husband has a wife so much like her father. It's a little disturbing sometimes. Oh, goodness. But they were talking about cooking. And that's one of those things that I had to learn later on. Because there was never really...
From my mother.
There was never really a need. That's fair. There was never really a need. When I was a kid, whenever I was a teenager, like the cooking that I did was holiday cooking. Like we have a family fudge recipe, we have a family cookie recipe, we have several family cookie recipes, we have some pie recipes, cake, things like that. Like we've got sweets down.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things that I'm trying to make sure I get the kids to understand so that one day, even though they have a galley to share with the whole barracks,
yeah,
they'll be able to go down. But
Danny, we in 2005 and 6, we still did the telephone pole PT too. And that's for those of you who don't know, that's the real deal.
But my dad had been learning how to cook more when I enlisted, and so he sent me a copy of the cookbook that he likes to use, and I've still got that copy of that cookbook. That's the cookbook that I use. And I started using the galley trying to make stuff, and you never knew Itchy and Scratchy, but they were a month and a half or 2 months away from graduating in the barracks whenever I got in there, and they were making bread. And
they were called Itchy and Scratchy.
Yes.
It was making bread.
It was Rash, and I want to say her name was Claw. I want to say their names were Rash and Claw, and so everybody called them Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh my
Because they were
God.
always together.
That's so perfect.
But they were making bread, and I like bread. I like making bread. I like the whole idea of it, the whole ritual that goes along with proofing yeast and everything else like that. It was great. And I think it was Itchy is the one that was telling me that her family had an old proverb because she's been cooking since she was 6 years old. And she's been making bread since she was 6 years old. She said, whenever you have problems, tell them to your husband. When your husband is the problem, tell them to the bread dough. And she made some of the best rolls and things. And I had my new cookbook, and I was gonna learn stuff, and I had a whole bread section, and one of the first things I started off with was the English muffins.
Oh yeah, she makes good English muffins.
I need to go ahead and make some more English muffins because
You know what we haven't done in a long time? You make fresh English muffins, and then I do fresh hollandaise, and we have fresh eggs Benedict.
The kids don't like eggs Benedict.
Well, they should learn.
Well, I don't disagree, but I mean,
you get some big beefsteak tomatoes out of the garden next season.
Well, you want me to plant tomatoes?
I'll griddle them. And I'll do the Canadian bacon ham. Fuck Canadian bacon. We'll have ham.
We'll have ham.
Ham. Griddled tomatoes, poached eggs, hollandaise, fresh hot English muffins.
It's definitely a celebratory dish. We can do that. But I don't. And gardening is a whole other thing that I've had to learn because there's tons of stuff that you just take for granted.
You don't have to learn, but we want to.
I have to learn. Have you seen how much groceries cost? We may as well make them ourselves.
We're what I like to think of now as hobby homesteaders.
We're hobby homesteaders. Yeah,
hobby steaders.
We're trying to, but a lot of this we know. You just have to understand that there's going to be failures.
Well, like we're raising chickens now, but we're not allowed to eat them.
We're not allowed to eat the chickens because we're eating the eggs.
Because I have a daughter with a tender young heart.
And there are definitely times whenever the chickens have to be left in the run and in the coop for a week and a half or 2 weeks because if they eat my whole garden again, they're going to be lining up for the fryer. I was talking to Dad about having meat chickens, and he said, you really shouldn't do that. And he's like, Felicia, we stopped having the chicken farm when I was 14, and I still remember the smell from processing the chickens. I'm like, so make somebody else do it. Got it. Check. Things I don't have to know. Learning how to cook, and that's one of those things. I asked him when he got to Hawaii, things that were his favorite foods. I don't have a favorite food because I didn't grow up with favorite foods. I grew up with, can it be done in half an hour or less? Or can it be ordered in half an hour or less?
I slaved over a hot phone book. It's
I'm really good at desserts. Is there a special dessert that you like? Because your mom's got this cooking thing down. I am not even going to try and make what she makes at this stage. I know this. And so...
David, my 13-year-old daughter does the cheddar biscuits. They'll blow you away.
They're so good. And there's so much butter.
There's so much butter.
And so much cheese.
Oh.
And they're so worth it.
There's really not much biscuit in there.
He tells me he really likes cheesecake. So one of the first things I'm learning out of that cookbook after the couple of recipes that I knew I needed are flipping cheesecakes. It's you need a springform pan, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Does it look like tulips? Is it shaped like an Easter basket? What do you mean springform?
She does make a hell of a cheesecake.
I have not in a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Well, it clearly kept you here for a minute. But I can't feed you a whole lot of cheesecake because, medications.
Cheesecake's fine.
Uh-huh.
It's more fat than sugar.
It's the same thing.
Should be.
When it gets processed in your body. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to make a keto-friendly cheesecake? Would that really just hit the spot?
So just like a springform pan full of beef tallow with some whipped cream on top?
No, it'd be cream cheese. Cream cheese and butter and eggs. The end.
Slice of chocolatized beef tallow. Boom.
Oh my goodness.
Beef tallow and chocolate chips.
But I did
chocolate chips, hickory nuts, some pecans on top, bacon lard.
But I know how to sew. Yes, my sewing talents are definitely worth all of it. This was fabric on Saturday last. I made him take me to Hobby Lobby so I could go and get fabric, and this is one of them. And I made another one for him as well as a couple of gifts.
Steve's getting ready to grow himself an apothecary.
I definitely suggest it. I have a book for you. I have a couple books for you because I have a couple of herbalist books because if it just grows, why aren't we using it? And the whole reason we're not is because you can't guarantee the strength of any one particular plant or container of dried plant.
Right.
And therefore you cannot dose it effectively. Especially when you're putting it into soil that is not high quality soil because it's been nothing but grass for years.
Yeah, we live on the other side of the fall line, so it's just sand.
Yeah,
we have so much sand.
So much sand. So much sand. I thought I was done with sand, Christopher. I came from the desert. I'm over it. He brought me to this weird place that keeps water in its air for some reason, and now there's sand everywhere. I thought this was a forest.
Oh, God, the year we moved back to Georgia, 2012, summer 2012.
There's supposed to be dirt, good dirt.
My poor wife, we had, our first one was, had just turned 2, and my poor hot young wife.
Hot. Was
so pregnant with number 2.
And it was so hot.
And we had a heat wave in Georgia.
Where it was so hot.
It stayed in the upper 90s and low 100s for like a week. And at that, we left our place in Hawaii. We moved to Georgia, put all our shit in a storage unit. We were staying with my mom and dad for a while. And we ended up staying with them longer than I had planned for, but at this point, we were staying with mom and dad, and their air conditioner went out during the heat wave, when my poor hot young wife was not accustomed
third trimester,
and she was not ready for the humidity.
This huge heater, and then there's not just water in the air; there's hot water in the hot air.
And Dad's AC failed.
How dare you!
So we took the women to the lake house.
And the child, because there was just the one at the time.
And worked on getting the AC fixed. Whew.
Danny, my dad said the same thing. He also said that his dad told him it had to be the white stuff, so you've got to separate it out.
Steve mentions they climbed a mountain. Fee climbed a mountain with us like 2 weeks from having the first one. Yeah, so there's a.
Oh my God! So
let's make this the last story and wrap up because it's already 10:15, and I promised I wouldn't keep it to midnight. Oh yeah, it's dangerous. You get carried away.
But so he's not going to end up getting deployed. So we decide we're going to go ahead and start on to having the kids, because if you wait until you're ready, you're never having kids. But can you be ready in 9 months? And if you can be ready in 9 months, conveniently, that's how long it takes to make one.
Yeah, I have told a lot of young men who were surprised that they were going to be a daddy in 9 months. Listen, son, as long as you don't go for nuke tech or linguistics, you can have that girl. You put a ring on it, get your ass to basic combat training, and you can be. I don't got to worry about it in time for that baby to be born. Uncle Sam will pay the hospital bill and a stipend to keep that pretty little girl in Lager and Legos while you go your ass to work.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this.
Now we were already enlisted. We got married, and then after we had been married for over a year, made the decision to have babies.
And so, after we had been married for a year,
spoiler guys,
got to cohabitate long enough to
right. That is the correct order of operations, by the way. That is the SOP. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life,
find an ugly girl and make
don't fuck around. Make a plan.
There's a whole song about it.
There is. And I'm here to tell you, the song, it says, never make a pretty woman your wife because you need an ugly girl who knows how to cook. It's okay to find a pretty girl who can't cook and get your mama to teach her how to do it. They can be trained. You can fix inexperienced.
You can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid, but you can fix uneducated.
But so we got positive test results and everything.
Yes, Steve, it was Diamond Head.
We've gone to a couple of prenatal appointments and everything, and they tell him, "Hey, guess what, soldier? Hey, hero, guess what we're sending you?"
Yeah, I got hey, hero. Now, in fairness, I didn't get straight up hey, hero. I didn't just get orders. Hey, you're going to war. A lot of my unit did at the time, but my commander and first sergeant came to me and said, and pulled me aside and said, "Sergeant Lowry, we're going. Now we know you got your first kid on the way, and we know that's a big deal. We're scheduled to deploy shortly after that due date. So we're asking you if you'll go with us. If you want, somebody's got to stay here for the rear detachment. Somebody's got to handle rear D. And if you want to do that and stay here with your wife and your first baby, you can do that." And I said, "Top 6, let me talk to the wife about it."
I'm glad you went.
And I went and I told her what was up. And y'all, that's a hard one.
That was a very difficult conversation.
That's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, was being put in a position to say, "Okay, listen, grown-ass man, listen, warfighter, you're a grown-ass man with a responsibility at home with a wife and a child and a responsibility. Listen, warfighter, you're a grown-ass war-fighting killing machine with a whole unit of soldiers that you train to do war fighting. And, brother, you got to pick one." Yeah.
And it's not like they remember their first
year.
Hey,
Spider-Man, is it going to be Mary Jane or the busload of nuns? Well, fuck.
Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb. God, that's truer than you can imagine.
I don't need to. I love you. But
hey, Jiggly Plum, it was my service, mate. I had a blast.
But it's not like they remember the first year anyway, and you needed to go.
My wife, I was put in that position, and my wife said to me, "Baby, you go take care of your boys. I've got this here.
I can handle a year."
And then you know what the motherfuckers did to me? I'm flying out of Honolulu International Airport, basically dressed like this, with my M16 in a carry-on. And I get settled in. They bring me my in-flight meal, and then they play the in-flight movie.
Oh my God.
And it was Despicable Me. And I was not the only soldier on that flight, in that unit, who had just had or was just about to have a first kid. And I mean, we were just boo-hooing. Just boo-hooing on this flight to Kuwait.
And they had all their fun, and you guys have heard several of the stories from down there. None of which include how I was all by myself. I was not all by myself. It was fine. Everything was fine.
No, she had a Vera.
Yes, it was me and Vera versus the world.
In fairness, Vera was our easiest baby.
And she was a trick. She was here to convince me we could have the rest and handle it. I was conned. Deceit was involved. Not just that. So they tell him, we're going to have to send you down. We still got prenatal appointments and everything. And Steve and Christy decide they're going to come and hang out and visit us. And they've got other friends down there. So they're visiting a couple people down there, which is great. They're going to go ahead and come see him before he heads out. They've got their tickets. They've got their dates. And then the unit says, hey, you want to go out to the field for a week?
Okay, so that one was less voluntary. What happened there is one of the soldiers who had a baby due, the baby came
early.
The baby came early.
Yeah.
And no.
But they were moving the field dates.
There was some medical complication, and they had to schedule his wife for induction or C-section or something, and that date was going to be during the original scheduled field training period. So to accommodate him, they rescheduled our week in the field. So Steve and Christy come out to visit us. They're supposed to be there for a week, and so we were supposed to have leave for a week because we had just come off of some other intense, heavy training. Y'all, I'm talking. We had like 6 months before we deployed. That we started every morning at 4:00 with 4 hours of PT, and I'm not talking bullshit calisthenics. I'm talking like full battle rattle, ruck marches, 10-mile jogs, runs. Battle buddy relays, which is where you throw a battle buddy over your shoulder and run to one end of the football field and throw him over somebody else's shoulder. And we run them back and forth. Poor little 145-pound Earl J. Kawili dragging my big ass in full battle rattle, skull drag by the piss pot. I mean, hardest core. And we were supposed to get a week off, and we didn't.
And they were doing all of this.
And I want to say that was Reef's wife.
Which means that he had even less body fat on him and yet weighed more.
Yeah.
In Hawaii than in California. Oh my gosh. Poor Kawili. But so they moved the dates around.
So Steve and Christy
come out and
with my wife that they've met once.
Keep in mind, the way the dates worked out for our wedding, because we were going to get married in Georgia. We were not getting married in California. No. Hard pass. Both of us agreed. We are not going to be California married. No. So we got married in Georgia. Thing is, I've met his mom and his dad. So I fly in. It's almost
2 weeks
Christmas.
before I get here? You were here for like 2 weeks with the family before I got into town, right?
Not even 2 weeks, but yeah.
But yeah.
So I fly in, his mom and his dad come and get me from the airport, and I meet everyone all at once at the wedding. So I've met Steve and Christy in passing on my wedding day.
Which was a year and a half. No.
Which was a year
No,
and a half
3
before.
years. It had been 3 years almost. We got married.
2.5
We got
years.
married
So,
at the
yeah.
end of 2007, and this story about the
was in 2010.
that's in
So it's
2010.
2.5 years. So this is 2.5 years after having met these people once while I was getting married. And I remember their beautiful daughter because, and 2 of them.
3.
All 3 of them. All 3 of them were flower girls. And that was what I knew. I knew Steve was the one with the glasses. And Christy was one of the ones with the really curly hair and had the cute girls. Multiple, because there were plenty of people with a cute girl at the time. This is all that I know about these people, so I've got to get, like, what do I do with these people? What do you guys want to do? I'm like, well, we were going to go hiking, and I was like, well, then let's go do that. Because I would do in 2 weeks. Let's go do that. Like, are you sure you want to do that? And like, they didn't ask in your condition, but it was there. Oh, sure, Diamond Head? Yeah, let's go do that. And we hang out and we have fun and we go and do a couple of activities, and they don't get to see anything of Chris because he gets back from the field the night that after they left.
Yeah. And I was destroyed.
He was exhausted and he was tired and he smelled awful. And because they had run out of coffee, they gave him a Red Bull. No, a Monster.
I fell asleep on watch in HQ one night on that field exercise, and I didn't get in trouble because when I woke up in my chair, when I snorted loud enough to wake myself up in my chair, I looked over to my left, and the first sergeant was asleep next to me. And I reached over and poked him. I said, hey, Top, I won't tell nobody.
Which is the proper course of action for that situation. So yeah, I'm due in a week and a half, 2 weeks, while we're hiking Diamond Head with the first one, because that was all the pregnancies have been super easy. Like, what's this? Oh yes, complicated? Really? I thought I was born for this. This was my not whole purpose in life, but like, as long as you're healthy, you're good to go, right? No issues whatsoever, which was wonderful. And then we had Vera, and you got a whole month of little bitty baby Vera. And she was little bitty baby Vera for about a week and a half. And then she was not quite so little bitty baby Vera. And then she was enormous all of a sudden. She's 15 now. It's like, what?
And just a hair over 6 feet tall.
It happened yesterday.
In fact, yeah. That one's Vera in the plague mask.
The plague doctor is my smallest child. No, Eleanor was smaller. But I think that has more to do with the C-section than it does with anything else. She was my smallest. She was my sweetest child. She slept through the night beginning at like 3 months old. So easy to take care of. He got a whole month with her, and then he was gone. And I didn't know what to do. What am I doing? It's a baby. He was like, well, just keep it alive. And I was like, well, okay, but how? Like, there's got to be more steps than this.
Just stop it when it tries to stick a screwdriver in the light socket.
I kinda, yeah.
Oh, I'm completed.
Me too. I'm out.
Oh.
My coffee's gone.
I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Okay, so we got up to Vera and going to war.
And going to war.
Let's pick up there the next time we do this together. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Y'all, I'm gonna. I
gotta go to bed.
I did promise her I wouldn't keep her up till midnight, so we're gonna go ahead and button this one up. Yeah. So for those of you freeloading out there on the YouTubes, we appreciate you. I tell you what, I'm going to do this since I see a few more. Uh, then I see a good number of people out there watching on the old
On the
Rumbles.
Rumbles.
So I'll throw some bones out to the loyal fans over there on Rumble to incentivize you bummers over on YouTube and X and the like. Shown up. There's a fistful of candy to the loyal audience. So if you're not already on Rumble, guys, get on Rumble. Get over here, be signed in, and leave a chat while we're live. And that's how you get goodies. That's how you get a free month of membership. And that's not just this channel. That's not just the behind the scenes, the deep dives, the philosophy and stuff that we do on this channel. That gets you the backstage for Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Salty Cracker, Russell Brand, everybody. A whole month of that goodness, right? And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy that. If you got one of those, if you didn't, then you need to get your ass over to Rumble and get signed up, and come watch us every weekday morning at 07:30 when we're live during the week. And we love you, and we will see you on Monday.
An hour and a half. Christopher, we sat here just talking about nothing for an hour and a half.
Not nothing, babe.
Everything and nothing?
No, it was us. We were talking about us.
Oh.
There's a granddaddy log legs trying to climb up your coffee cup.
I'd really rather not have him come in.